What's good, Internet? My name is attackslug, and welcome to my WWE Fastlane 2017 predictions video. As always, let me know what you think, who you think is going to win down in the comments below. I will get into my predictions for the 8 matches on this card this Sunday at Fastlane. We begin with our kickoff show, which is a cruiserweight match, a tag team match between Rich Swann, Akira Tozawa versus the Brian Kendrick, man with the plan, and Noam Dar, and I would assume the beautiful Alicia Fox will be ringside. So, you know, there's that. It feels like they've been kind of building Akira Tozawa a bit, at least on Raw anyway. I don't watch a whole lot of 205 Live, but that seems to be where they're going. So considering this is kind of the pay-per-view return of Rich Swann, who was out injured for a bit with an ankle injury, I would imagine that the faces go over here on the kickoff show. I don't see any reason for the heels to go over, but hey, you never know. They do have Alicia Fox as a potential distraction for that stuff, so we shall see. But I'm calling the faces, and that should be the end of the kickoff show matches. Now then, moving on to the main card, we have Sasha Banks, Nia Jax. And my biggest question is, why? The only thing that makes sense is if they're continually having Sasha Banks lose and then turning her heel. Because otherwise, I don't see, I understand. You don't have a lot of women on the Raw roster. You kind of got 4, and you sort of have Dana Brooke, and Alicia Fox is managing, so you don't really have her. So you kind of got 4, because you don't have Summer Rae, you don't have Paige, and where the fuck is Emelina? So I think they're going to continue having Sasha lose. I think she's been kind of directionless since they got her out of the main feud with Charlotte. And so you keep having her lose, and then have her turn heel, and then do something with that. So I will call Nia Jax to win this in a match. They're probably going to end up putting this match on before the main event as kind of your cool-down match. In between the Roman Reigns match and the Goldberg match. Have a cool-down match with the ladies. So, moving on. We have our tag team titles being defended by the Club versus Enzo and Big Cass. And Enzo and Big Cass, they're kind of making a deal about how they've never won tag team gold. And obviously, the Club, which is Gallows and Anderson, have won gold all over the world, but kind of just in Japan. Now, I'm not necessarily sure if you're going to have these tag team titles change hands. I'm not sure you do it at Fastlane because it's Fastlane, right? If you're going to end your story with the face winning over the heel for the title, that is a better story to finish at WrestleMania. You don't so much want your faces defending and winning and defending the belt at Mania. You want the faces overcoming the odds at the grandest stage of them all. So having the title change hands here at Fastlane seems kind of silly. So I think that the Club retain the belts, and perhaps we see a rematch of some kind, or a multiple tag team thing happening at WrestleMania. Moving on, we have the Cruiserweight title match, which is the reigning King of the Cruiserweights, Bow Down, Neville, versus the extraordinary gentleman, Jack Gallagher. That was a pop-up powerbomb on the Goldberg. That's not going to happen on Sunday. Come on now. I don't think so. So Neville continuing his reign as the King of the Cruiserweights against Jack Gallagher, who I think is hilarious and really kind of sells the gimmick that he's going for. But I think it's still a bit too early to take the belt off of Neville, who is doing an excellent job of just bodying that division and being the Brock Lesnar of the Cruiserweights. So here's hoping, fingers crossed, they leave the belt on Neville a little bit longer. Because again, if you're going to put the belt onto a face, you don't do it at Fastlane. You do it at WrestleMania. Although the rumor is they're going to have Neville fight Austin Aries at Mania, but Aries, I'm pretty sure, is a heel, so you're going to have a heel versus heel thing at Mania, or you're going to turn Austin Aries face at some point. I don't know what they're doing, but I think Neville retains here, and maybe he loses it at WrestleMania. Moving on, we have Sami Zayn versus The Destroyer, Samoa Joe, in a heated personal issues type of rivalry. And why is Booker T out here? He got tired of being on commentary on the pre-show and decided to come out and interrupt this world title match to cheer for Kevin Owens. Hold on. Yeah, he's cheering for Kevin Owens. No. Booker T. I mean, this technically makes sense if you want to decide that the rivalry between WWF and WCW never ended, and Booker T, as a WCW guy, is out here to help his buddy Goldberg, who was a WCW guy. I guess that makes sense. It's still, this game's, the run-in and stuff can be a little bit weird, because I just have it on CPU, and I'm not actually, obviously, playing the game. Anyway, Sami Zayn, Samoa Joe, and I've said this a million freaking times, why would you debut someone onto the main roster from NXT and then have them go to the pay-per-view and then have them lose? That makes zero sense. So Samoa Joe should get a nice, strong victory against Sami Zayn. I don't think that's going to hurt Zayn at all if Joe just, you know, trounces him, but still you have the resilient Sami Zayn just will not give up, and you kind of get a excellent match there. They've had great matches in the past, so this one, potentially a show stealer. So we shall see how that plays out between Sami and Joe, and then how that plays into whatever the hell is going on for WrestleMania between Rollins and Triple H, if anything, because still kind of unsure on what the deal is there. So, moving on, we have the other women's match, which is your women's champion, Bayley, versus getting her rematch, the queen of the pay-per-view, 16-0 at pay-per-view, Charlotte, and I don't see any reason for Charlotte to not continue that streak as much as they play up and talk about that streak. Why would you end it at Fastlane? If you're going to end the pay-per-view streak of Charlotte, you do it on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. I know I'm sounding like a fucking broken record, but again, it's Fastlane. Like, you do big shit at the Rumble. You do big shit at WrestleMania. In between, you don't do big shit. That's not how it works. And Goldberg here, like, that's not how you put butts in seats. That's not how you sell network subscriptions. You save Jackhammer, your big shit, for WrestleMania. 3 count. There is pretty much zero chance the actual match will go anywhere near that long on the show on Sunday. And Goldberg as Universal Champ, you should probably get used to that feeling for a few weeks here, but I'll get to that match here in a moment. So again, the Queen wins her title back for like, what, the 4th time? 5th time? I've lost track. And then they somehow set up a fatal 4-way match, supposedly, between the 4 women on the Raw roster for WrestleMania. And maybe that is where the pay-per-view streak gets broken. If they're going to break it anytime soon, that would be the right spot to do it. So, that brings us to this match. The big dog, Roman Reigns, versus the monster among men, Braun Strowman. And I really hope they have some way to keep Braun looking like the monster that he is, to keep him looking strong, so to speak. Because you know the MO with this company is make Roman look strong, and we pretty much know Roman is planned as the opponent for The Undertaker at WrestleMania, which may or may not be Taker's last match, which would be a damn shame, because you know he's going to lose Roman. But what they do in this match is going to be important for the future of Braun Strowman. I don't want Roman to be in the position they had Cena in for so long, where you build a guy, feed him to Cena, and then he ends up in the fucking mid-card, and nobody gives a shit. Rusev. So, that's kind of where I'm at on that thing. So, I think it's pretty clear Roman Reigns is going to win here, unless we actually have an appearance and interference from the dead man. If Taker shows up and screws Roman out of this match, like Roman screwed Taker out of his win at the Rumble, then that's the only conceivable way you're going to have Braun Strowman win this match. It could be a double DQ. It could be a double countout. There are ways to book this to not have Braun just get bitched out, right? There are ways to do it if they're smart enough. Just don't have a just one-on-one regular match and have Roman hit like 45 Superman punches and then beat Braun, because that's not what people want to see. But I'm hopeful, because I think they've been doing a good job with Braun, and I want to see them continue to do a good job with Braun, and don't just feed him to Roman Reigns and then just, don't do anything with him. So, but again, if match ends in a pinfall, it's Roman Reigns. If there's interference, who knows? But pretty sure Roman gets the better of this unless Taker appears. And then finally, main event. It is Goldberg, or should I say Oldberg, versus your Universal Champion, Kevin Owens, and the Kevin Owens Show. And I would say dollars to donuts, we are going to get some kind of interference in this match. Whether that be Lesnar, whether that be Jericho, or both. There's going to be interference in this match. I do not predict them having to say, okay, have them both come in and have Goldberg just squash Owens in like 20 seconds. Like, I don't see that happening. Like, you spent all this time with Owens as champion, having him job out like that would be extraordinarily disappointing. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. It would be extraordinarily disappointing. So, do they put the belt on Goldberg? Yeah, probably. The word is they want to elevate the title, so you put the belt on Goldberg here. You have Goldberg lose to Lesnar at Mania, getting his win finally over Goldberg. Goldberg rides off into the sunset, and then either Roman or Braun is going to win that belt off of Lesnar at the next pay-per-view or the one after that, or maybe even wait until SummerSlam, or, who knows. But in any event, I think it is very conceivable that you have Goldberg winning the belt and walking out of this match as the champion, and we set up Owens and Jericho for the U.S. title at Mania, and then Owens wins the U.S. belt off of Jericho at Mania, and Jericho goes and does his music stuff for, however long he needs to do that and go on tour and whatnot, because I don't see Owens going into the grandest stage of them all as the champion, unfortunately. So, that's it. Goldberg wins, new champ, and I guess folks go home happy? I don't know. There's your spear. Make him look strong, Braun. Make him look strong. So that's Fastlane predictions. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll be very curious to see how this show shapes the road to WrestleMania, which is pretty fucking soon here. So, I'm attackslug. Thanks for watching. More videos every day, and I'll see you next time, right here on this channel. Braun!